What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwing Hands. Per usual, it's me, Jakob Janoski, but Daniel isn't here. He has to work. But we're joined by special guest, LFA contender Sean McPadden. Sean, how you doing?
Hey, another day, another dollar.
I feel that. So we're just gonna kick it right off here. How'd you get your start in martial arts?
Well, kind of an interesting story. I played 14 years of hockey. Got in a little trouble in high school. Ended up getting kicked off the hockey team, but was friends with a lot of lifelong martial artists and absolutely loved the WEC. I used to, stay up late in my bed, watch Uriah Faber, Dominic Cruz, Donald Cerrone, all those guys. And after a couple street fights later, I was like, hey, maybe I should try this. And took myself to a jiu-jitsu gym and downhill running from there.
Wow. So would you say you have sort of a Minnesota or Minneapolis mentality when it comes to your fighting? Like, does that influence the way you do stuff?
Yeah, I'm super Midwest, blue collar, hardworking guy. I mean, nobody's gonna outwork me. I mean, I got the best cardio in the game.
Okay, so your cardio speaks for itself. In your amateur career, you went 4-1. How did this prep you for your pro career? How did those few fights prepare you for those?
I went 9-1 in my
Oh,
amateur
my bad.
career.
I got this off Sure Dog, man. It's
Oh man, no, yeah, good. Yeah, no, I went 9-1 in my amateur career. Ended up going 4-0. Won my first title. Took a short notice fight in Nebraska, and it was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. Cut way too much weight, did it the incorrect way. Ended up losing a split decision that most would argue went my way, but it's the best lesson I ever got taught. I mean, showed me that fights don't go to make sure the fights don't go to the judges. And since then, I think I'm on a 9-fight win streak, 8 of those by finish, including my entire pro career. So
yeah. So you get to your pro career, make your debut at LFA 56. What were your feelings and thoughts going into this, knowing that you're finally going to get that paycheck?
It's never been about the pay for me. It's always been about the competition, the competitive aspect. I mean, I played competitive sports my entire life, basically since I was 3. I think I started playing competitive soccer a little bit. Right? Well, rec soccer, I should say, at 3 years old. So it's like I just love to get in there and test myself. I mean, I'm truly when it comes down to it, through and through, I'm a true martial artist. I mean, I'm out here studying my art, and then when it's time to, go out there and demonstrate, or like how I like to put it is I go out there and I paint my picture, and that canvas is just, how I paint, man. I love what I do.
So you would say it's your martial arts are, in a sense, your way of expressing yourself?
Oh, 100%. The octagon is like my temple. I feel at peace more there than anywhere in the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, so you get into this next fight against Jason Huntley. You get your first TKO victory. What went into that different strategy? What went did you get into that TKO? Because you usually go by submission.
I mean, I was just flowing pretty much at that point. We tangled up. We were playing a little bit of the boxing game. You ended up not liking the hands like most guys don't. Charged in, kind of clinched up a little bit, and then I hit him with a little shoulder pop into that left knee to the liver, and that was the show. I mean, that's still to this day the hardest shot I think I've ever hit anybody with in my life.
Jeez. So you get 2 sub wins in a row, and then your next fight's coming up at LFA 90 versus Begosso. You're going in this fight. You two have a similar skill set. What are your expectations going into this?
I think he's gonna be a tough kid. I think he's going to struggle with the size disadvantage. I think he's like 5'4", 5'5", He trains at a great gym out of Alpha Mill. He's a tough kid from Brazil, I'm sure. But, it's the Midwest mentality, and straight jiu-jitsu guys don't do great against us wrestlers, especially in mixed martial arts. I mean, I'm in there not to – and I'm not a wrestler that's going to go in there and, lay and pray on you and hopefully, win a decision. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to maul you from bell to bell, whether it's on the feet where I'll butcher you or whether it's on the ground where I'll maul you. Most guys give up. They concede, I take that will out of their eyes. That's why I have so many sub finishes. I beat them up on the feet. They take bad shots, finish them on the ground.
So would you say your wrestling attributes to your great cardio?
Oh, I definitely think it plays a big part. Um, I'm a heavy body puncher too. I live for the body shot. There's no, when you start sucking wind in there with me, I mean, it's just blood in the water. I get all excited. I'm like a shark.
So how would you say this, the protests in Minneapolis this summer and with COVID, how has that affected your training going into this?
COVID has presented its challenges, but more so earlier on. My gym has done a phenomenal job. The Academy and McCoon's Martial Arts has done a phenomenal job of navigating, these untreaded waters, and we've kind of got a good setup where we're training in pods. And, I'm blessed to be able to train with John Castaneda, who just made it in the UFC. He's got 21, 22 pro fights. And, me and John have been working with each other since college. So, I got a good relationship with him. Also got Rashal Malik, and then, I really do have the best of everything in Minnesota. I have Greg Nelson as my head MMA coach and wrestling coach. I got Chris McCoon, former Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. And then I got D'Angelo Curtis, who's a phenomenal professional boxer here. So I used my time and continued to be self-motivated to train and get better. And like I said, I'm not just a fighter. I think it's a crappy label for guys like me because I am so much of a martial artist. I mean, I'm dedicated to not just learning how to fight. I don't want to learn how to fight. I want to learn how to perform. I want to make this shit look pretty. It's beautiful, the structure in there when you're in there with me.
Okay, so we discussed earlier, you're a nursing major, you're trying to get that degree. Has that affected your training at all, or like has it helped you manage time better in a sense?
I would rather stay busy than not be busy. Usually anywhere from, my days usually look like I start at 5 a.m. and I go till about 7 p.m. It's like about 6 o'clock. I usually get home and I finish up homework usually around 9, 10 o'clock. So it definitely presents its challenges, but I'm 25 years old. I don't got kids. I don't got dogs. I got a beautiful girlfriend who I love very much, but she's an absolute grinder too, being a professional canoeer. Also, she's in her master's program for social work, and she's working herself. So, I mean, I'm surrounded by really good people who, not only show me that how you can grind, but somebody kind of grind right there with me. She's definitely been an absolute major blessing in my life, and she showed me that I can do more than I can even think.
In what ways does she motivate you?
She gives me no excuses. Absolutely none. She gets up maybe a half hour after me, starts work, does her school, does her internship. She does everything, man. I mean, having somebody like that who also grinds, 14, 16 hours a day right alongside of you, I can't let her outdo me almost. I mean, it's not a competition like that by any means, but knowing that somewhat, it's kind of when, I don't want to say it's suffering because that's not what I'm doing to myself, but when somebody, along just grinding with you, there's a kind of partnership that you really do develop through that, and a trust and a vulnerability. And I've developed that with her, and, it's really turned out to be a really beautiful relationship.
Well, that's pretty nice. It's always nice having that person to, help motivate you along your side. I mean, I can definitely relate to that. So expectations going forward, after you get this win, where do you see yourself going from here?
Tell Dana, tell Mick, tell Sean Shelby, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the UFC, man. I mean, plain and simple, I'm a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that can box, that can wrestle, and that can kick hard. My clinch is devastating. I finish guys in the clinch. I finish guys on top of them. I've ground and pounded guys out. You know, I've had such an extensive amateur career, and you look at all of my amateur wins in the later portion of my career. I don't fight guys with losing records. I think the in 9 or 10, I think I've in my total fight career, I've maybe fought guys with losing records like 3 or 4 times, and that was all at amateur, and that was early on too. So it's like I'm ready. You know, I've faced good competition, and I've not only beat them but finished them, all of them. I think I'm on like a 6, 7 a fight finishing streak, and I'm just gonna keep extending that. I mean, these guys on the regional circuit can't keep up with my game. I'm that good.
And how would you say that LFA will prepare you for the competition that's in the UFC?
Oh, I mean, LFA is the best in the business. I mean, I always call it Division One MMA. I mean, you want to go to the pros, you want to go to the NFL per se for MMA, you go through LFA. You know, I'm a Division One blue chip athlete, and I know it. And I'm one of the best in the business coming up at 135. I mean, the Sugar Show got derailed, so it's time for the Liquor Train to come through.
Yeah, I hope Sugar can accept that loss one day. But so, is there anything else you would like to say? You know, words of advice, words of motivation.
Man, words of advice for any amateur coming up. Focus on your martial arts training. Don't be a fighter. It's good to have the physique. It's good to have, you know, the ability to talk. But if you can't fight, if you can't back it up with skill and technique, you know, you get tired. Okay? It's just plain and simple. You know, I got a buddy who's going through he's probably in stage 4 pancreatic cancer right now, and I just want to give him a big shout out. You know, Eric Riley, you know, keep grinding, brother, keep pushing. Otherwise, man, you know, thank you to all my sponsors, Fight, Accelerated Chiropractic, my buddy over at USO Cryotherapy, Iridium Sports Agency, Hong Thai Maple Grove, best Thai food around. You know, and all those guys who are constantly helping me out, you know, shouting me out. Also, Apollo, my boy Apollo, he's a local Minnesota guy. He's got some bangers. Check him out, Mamba by Apollo. You'll hear it during the walkout. Otherwise, man, yeah, thank you to my coaches, thank you to my team, thank you to my family.
Hey, thoughts and prayers to your friend, man. All right. So where can the people find you on social media, Sean?
Hit me up at Sean on Instagram, Sean_Lucky_McPadden, McPadden. Twitter is going to be McPadden Sean, and Facebook, Sean Lucky McPadden. Find me. And if you can't find me, don't worry. You'll see me everywhere real shortly. Because, like I said, Sugar Show's derailed. Time for the real Sean to stop in.
All right, man. I appreciate the confidence, and I appreciate you coming on the show today, man.
Thanks, sir. You have a good one.
All right, guys. You can catch Sean McPadden at LFA 90 on Friday, correct?
Friday, September 4th, UFC Fight Pass.
All right, guys. Sean McPadden, everybody.